Okay. In the previous class, we have seen the jet transformation methods. That means we have obtained the jet transform for the basic functions, that is fundamental functions, for different for one set of equations. So for this today's class, we will see the different transformation methods, jet transformation methods, which are used for solving another set of equations. Another set of equations. Okay, we will discuss what is the another set of equations. So apart from this, we are having two different methods, that is two different jet transformation methods for solving second set of equations. Those methods are partial fraction method and residue method. For applying the jet transform for different set of equations, we are having two different methods. One is partial fraction method and the second one is residue method. Residue method. So in this class, we will see how the partial fraction method is going to be applied for solving the jet transform, and how the residue method is applied for obtaining the jet transform for certain set of equations. Okay, so we will discuss the first method, that is partial fraction method. Okay, so let us see. We will discuss some of the problems. So here is the statement of the problem. Find the jet transform for f of x is equal to x divided by s square minus omega square. Find the jet transform for jet transform for equation f of x is equal to s divided by s square minus omega square. I think all of you are very familiar about the partial fraction method. That means we have to divide the roots of the denominator and we have to apply the partial fraction expansion. Partial fraction expansion. Okay. So for this kind of equations, we are going to apply the transformation methods. For fundamental equations, we are going to apply the basic equation, that is the basic definition of the jet transform. But but for certain set of the equations, we are going to apply the jet transformation method, whether it will be a partial fraction method or residue method. Okay, and this set of and the set of equations which are going to be available are like this: f of s is equal to s divided by s square minus omega square. Okay, so so with the help of the partial fraction expansion, we are going to expand this one as, that means s divided by s square minus omega square can be written as equal s divided by s plus omega into s minus omega, s by s plus omega into s minus omega. So basic partial fraction method is going to be explained as a divided by s plus omega plus b divided by s minus omega. A divided by s plus omega plus b divided by s minus omega. Okay. Therefore, equating the equation, s is equal to a into s minus omega plus b into s plus omega. So just substituting the value of the first root, this one. For obtaining a value of the b, just substitute the value of s is equal to omega. S minus omega is equal to 0. That can be written as s is equal to omega. So just substituting the value of s is equal to omega in this particular basic equation, we are going to get b is equal to 1 by 2. B is equal to 1 by 2. That means we have obtained the value of So in order to obtain the value of a, we have to substitute s is equal to minus omega. S is equal to minus omega. So just substituting the value of s is equal to minus omega in this particular equation, we are going to get the a value is also 1. The a value is also 1 by 2. Okay. So just substituting the values of 1 by 2 and 1 by 2. That means a and b value in this particular equation. In this particular equation, we are going to get, that is f of s is equal to 1 by 2 into s plus omega plus 1 by 2 into, sorry, divided by s minus omega. 1 by 2 by s plus omega plus 1 by 2 divided by s minus omega. Okay, this is the values we are obtained using the partial fraction methods. So in order to obtain f of z, f of z, we have to convert that S domain into T domain. In order to apply the Z transformation methods, we have to convert the S domain. That means f of s has to be converted into f of t. Okay. So in order to apply or in order to convert or to apply the Z transform for f of s, that f of s has to be applied with a inverse Laplace transform. Okay. So inverse Laplace transform is applied on both sides of this particular equation. With the application of inverse Laplace transform on both sides of this equation, we are going to get, that means capital F of s is going to be converted into f of t plus 1 by 2 into 1 by 2 into e power minus omega t plus 1 by 2 into e power omega t. 1 by 2 into e power minus omega t plus 1 by 2 into e power omega t. Okay, so applying the jet transform on both sides, f of t is going to be converted into f of z, and 1 by 2 is written same. And we are having the basic jet transform in the previous classes. That means the starting classes of the jet transform, we have seen the jet transform fundamental equations. That means, and this particular equation is going to be resembled the exponential form, e power minus at. What is the Z transform for e power minus at? It is nothing but z divided by z minus e power at. So in the similar fashion, we are going to apply the Z transform for this particular equation f of t, so that the f of t is going to be converted into f of z, and 1 by t is going to be written same, and e power minus omega t is going to be written as z divided by z minus e power minus omega t plus 1 by 2 into z divided by z minus e power omega t. E power omega t. Okay. So therefore, finally we are going to get the value of f of z. That is the final expression for f of z. The z transformation using the partial fraction method is nothing but f of z is equal to 1 by 2 into z divided by z minus e power minus omega t plus z divided by z minus e power omega t. Okay, these are the basic equations. That means in this way we are going to obtain the z transformation for the certain set of equations using partial fraction expansion. Partial fraction expansion. Okay. In the similar fashion and similar manner, we are going to solve the rest of the problems also using partial fraction. Okay. So have a glance on it. So here is the question for this one. The next question is nothing but find the transform for f of s is equal to phi divided by s into s plus 1. So in this particular equation, we are able to find out the two particular roots, that is s is equal to 0 and s is equal to minus 1. S is equal to 0 and s is equal to minus 1. So initially expand this particular equation using partial fraction expansion, that is phi divided by s into s plus 1 is equal to a divided by s plus b divided by s plus 1. So in order to obtain the value of a, in order to obtain the value of a, in order to obtain the value of a, just substitute the value of s is equal to 0. S is equal to 0 in this particular equation. Then a is going to be obtained as 5. And similarly, in order to obtain the value of b, just substitute the value of s is equal to minus 1 in this particular equation. So we are going to get the value of b as minus 5. So just substitute the value of b and a, b and d in this particular expansion equation. F of s is going to be obtained as phi divided by s minus phi divided by s plus 1. So in order to obtain the f of z for this equation, just apply the inverse Laplace transform for f of s. Hence, we are going to obtain as f of t is equal to 5 into u of t, that is step function, minus 5 into e power minus t, 5 into e power minus t. So applying the z transform for this particular basic equation f of t, we are going to get f of z is equal to 5 into a z transform for the step function is z divided by z minus 1 minus 5 into z divided by z minus e power minus t. Z divided by z minus e power minus t. Okay, this is one set of the problem which is can be obtained. That means the z transform can be obtained with the help of the partial fraction expansion. Okay, so in the similar fashion, we will solve one more problem. So the statement of the problem is find the Z transform for f of s is equal to a square divided by s into s plus a whole square. S into s plus a whole square. So this problem is asked in your previous university questions. This one, it is very important. This particular question is asked in your previous university question papers. So that a square divided by s into s plus a whole square is equal to a divided by s plus b divided by s plus a plus c divided by s plus a whole square. That means in this particular basic equation, in this particular given equation, we are able to observe s plus a whole square. That means repeated roots are two. Repeated roots are two. So for repeated roots, that means for obtaining the ABC values or numerator values, we are going to apply the partial fraction expansion as a divided by s plus b divided by single root first one s plus a plus c divided by repeated root, that is s plus a whole square. S plus a whole square. So equating this particular equation, cancellation of s into s plus a whole square, we are going to get simply a square is equal to capital A into s plus a whole square plus b into s plus a plus c s. Okay. So in order to obtain the value of a, b, c, we have to substitute the values, that is yes, s is equal to 0 and s is equal to minus, sorry, minus. Okay. So firstly obtain the values, that means substitute the value of s is equal to minus a. Then we are going to get a square is equal to c into minus a, c into minus a. Therefore, c is equal to minus a. We have obtained a relation between the a and c. So just equating, that means just substitute the value of s is equal to 0 in this particular equation. We are going to get a square is equal to capital A square. A square is equal to capital A square. So that we have obtained the value of capital A is equal to 1. So with this relation, we can obtain the value of c also, that is minus 1. So comparing the s square terms on both sides, that means s square terms on this particular two sides, LH side and RH side, we are going to obtain that s square terms are 0 and a plus b is equal to 0. Therefore, e is nothing but minus a. So finally, we are going to get the values of a as 1, b is equal to minus 1 and c is equal to minus 1. So just substitute the a, b, c values in this particular equation, this one. For partial fraction expansion series, we are going to get f of s is equal to 1 divided by s minus 1 divided by s plus a plus, sorry, minus a into a divided by s plus a whole square. So convert that f of s into f of t. So for this conversion, we have to apply the inverse Laplace transform for this particular equation. We are going to get f of t is equal to u of t minus e power minus at minus at into e power minus a. So just applying the Z transform for this particular equation, we are going to get the Z transform for the step function is z divided by z minus 1 minus z divided by z minus e power minus at minus a into tz into e power minus at whole divided by z minus z power e power minus at e power minus at. Okay, this problem is asked in your university questions, that in previous university question papers. This is very important question. Okay, try to understand, and these kind of equations can be applied. That means the Z transform for this particular equations can be obtained with the help of the partial fraction method or residual method. Okay. Okay. In the similar fashion, we are going to solve the next set of the problems. That is, find the Z transform for the function f of s is equal to s into 2s plus t divided by s plus 1 whole square into s plus 2. So obtaining the partial fraction expression for this one, a divided by s plus 1 into b divided by s plus 1 whole square plus c divided by s plus 2. So equating this particular equation, we are going to get this equation, that means the first equation here. So after that, just substitute the value of s is equal to -1. We are going to get the value of v as -2, and the second root or pole, that is nothing but s is equal to -2. Just substituting the value of s is equal to -2, then we are going to get the c value is. So after that, comparing the s square terms on the both sides, that means LH side, LHS and RHS, we are going to get the value of a is equal to. So just substitute the value of a, b, c. That means a means it is nothing but 0. We are going to get only the values of b and c. So therefore, f of s is equal to -1 divided by s plus 1 whole square plus 2 divided by s plus 2. Okay, applying the inverse Laplace transform on the both sides here, we are going to get t into e power minus t plus 2 into e power minus 2. So applying the z transform on the both sides, we are going to get f of z is equal to t into z into e power minus t whole divided by z minus e power minus t whole square. Tz into e power minus t whole divided by z minus e power minus t whole square plus 2 into z divided by z minus e power minus 2, z divided by z minus e power minus 2. Okay, this is the z transformation for another set of problem. Okay, in the similar fashion, we are going to solve the another problem also. Okay, find the z transform for the function f of s is equal to. Find the z transform for the function f of s is equal to a square divided by s square into s plus c whole square. Okay, and this particular question is also asked in your university questions, previous university questions. A square divided by s square into s plus c whole square. So applying the partial fraction method for f of s, we are going to get a divided by s plus b divided by s square plus c divided by s plus c plus d divided by s plus a whole square. Okay, equating the equation and comparing s cube terms on both sides. S cube terms on both sides, we are going to get a relation that is capital A is equal to minus c. Capital A is equal to minus c. So after that, let's substitute the value of s is equal to 0 in this particular equation. We are going to get a square is equal to b into a square is equal to b into a square. Okay, we are going to get the value of b is equal to 1, and after that, just substitute the value of s is equal to minus a in the basic equation. We are going to develop the value of d is equal to 1. D is equal to 1. Okay, after that, just compare the value, that is a is equal to minus 1 by a into p plus t. 1 by a minus 1 by a into p plus t. We are going to get a is equal to minus 2 divided by a. A is equal to minus 2 by a. That is, in the similar fashion, we can obtain the value of c as c is equal to 2 by c is equal to 2 by. So just substitute the values of a, b, c, d in the equation 1. We are going to get f of s is equal to minus 2 by a divided by s plus 1 by s square plus 2 by a divided by s plus a plus 1 by a s plus a whole square. So applying the inverse Laplace transform for this equation, we are going to get the f of t value, that is f of t is equal to minus 2 by a into u of t plus t plus 2 by a into e power minus at plus t into e power minus a. Okay, applying the z transform for this particular equation, we are going to get minus 2 by a into the z transform for the unit step function is z divided by z minus 1 plus t. The z transformation for the value of t is equal to, that is a ramp function, tz divided by z minus 1 whole square plus 2 by a 2 by a into z divided by z minus a minus e power minus at plus tz divided by. Okay, in this fashion we are going to obtain the z transformation for this function. Okay. Next, we are going to solve this kind of problems using partial fraction. Okay, these kind of problems can be solved with the help of a partial fraction expansion. Partial fraction expansion. Okay, and another method we are having for obtaining the jet transform for this kind of equation is a residue method. Residue method. Okay, this residue method is very easy when compared with the partial fraction expansion. Okay, so before going to solve some of the problems using residue method, just have a introduction part regarding to the residue method. That means we have to apply equation, a basic equation in order to obtain the residues. Okay, that means that is nothing but let us suppose f of z is equal to z transform of f of t. That can be taken as sigma. That means summation of residues of f of s at poles f of s. Okay, that means when the denominator of f of s contains a linear factors, that means if the denominator value of the function can be expressed as a root values, that means s minus 1 or s minus 2 or something, then the residues for that particular root or pole can be obtained with the corresponding equation, that is residue can be obtained as capital R is equal to limit s tends to limit s tends to r s in s minus r into f of s into 1 divided by 1 minus e power st into z inverse. Limit s tends to r s minus 1 sorry s minus r into f of s into 1 by 1 minus e power st into z divided z power minus. Okay, if we are having the two roots, that means r1 or r2, we can obtain, we have to substitute s is equal to, sorry, we are going to obtain two particular residues R1 and R2. R1 is for S minus R1 and R2 is for S minus R2. That means two different residues we have to obtain. So finally the f of z can be obtained with the summation of R1 plus R2. R1 plus R2. So while solving the problems, we can obtain the basic introduction part regarding this residue method. Don't worry about that one. Okay, and also if we are having a repeated course, that means in the previous question we have seen this one s plus a whole square. These are the repeated roots. If the repeated roots are there, we can obtain the z transform for this one. That means we can obtain the residues for this one with this particular equation. That means 1 divided by q minus 1 factorial plus limit x tends to r d power q minus 1 whole divided by d into s power q minus 1 into s minus r whole power q into f of s into 1 by 1 minus e power st into z power. Okay, so let us move for the problems, so that after solving one problem you can get the basic idea to develop or to obtain the z transform using the residue. Okay. This is the statement of the problem. Find the z transform for the following functions. Okay. This is the question. Given f of s is k divided by s into s plus 4. K divided by s into s plus 4. So we are having the two different roots. We are having the two different roots. That is s is equal to 0 and s is equal to minus 1. That means two different poles. S is equal to 0 and s is equal to minus 4. Okay, so in order to obtain the residue value at pole s is equal to 0, residue 1 can be taken as limit h tends to 0, limit s tends to 0, the first pole is s into k divided by s into s plus 4 into 1 divided by 1 minus e power st into z power minus 1. Just substituting that one in this basic equation, this one here. Okay, in this similar fashion, R1 can be obtained as limit s tends to 0. That means the first pole is 0. Therefore, limit s tends to 0, s into k divided by s into s plus 4. That means the first root is s into f of s. F of s value is this one, and that particular f of s has to be multiplied with the s function, that is 1 divided by 1 minus e power st into z power minus 1. E power st into z power minus 1. Okay, so just substitute the value of s is equal to 0 in this equation. We are going to get k by 4 into 1 divided by 1 minus e power 0 into z inverse. That means k by 4 into 1 divided by 1 minus z inverse. So that is R1 can be obtained as k divided by 4 into z by z minus 1. Z by z minus 1. Okay. In this fashion, we are going to obtain the residue value, that is R1. In the equation, we are going to obtain, we are going to identify.
లేదండి మొన్న ఆల్రెడీ చేశారు లేదని చెప్పాం మళ్ళీ చేసి
Someone has unmuted yourself. Please unmute yourself.
అది కట్టేలా ఉండొచ్చు ఏమంటగా ఉంటే వచ్చేద్దాం మనం కూడా చేశారు క్లాస్
Okay. In the similar fashion, let us obtain the residue value, that is R2. R2 means the R2 has to be obtained for a pole s is equal to minus 4. S is equal to minus 4. So the residue, second residue can be obtained as limit s tends to minus 4, s plus 4, that is the root, s plus 4 into f of s value into 1 divided by 1 minus e power st into z inverse. E power st into z inverse. So just substitute the value of k is equal to minus 4. We are going to get k divided by minus 4 into 1 divided by 1 minus e power 4t into z inverse. So just converting the z inverse into z, we are going to get the value of residue R2 as minus k divided by 4 into z divided by z minus e power. Okay, and finally the z transformation for this function f of s can be obtained as f of z is equal to r1 plus r2. R1 plus r2. So taking the k by 4 value as common, we are going to get k divided by 4 into z divided by z minus 1 minus z divided by z minus e power minus 2. Okay. In this way, we are going to obtain the z transformation for the function. So in this residue method, there is no need to apply the inverse Laplace transform. Just applying the residue method, we are going to get the z transform. No need to apply the inverse Laplace transform and no need to apply the z transform for the equation. Okay, just calculating the residue values and converting that residue values, that means adding the residue value, we are going to get the f of t, that is z transform for the function f of s. Okay, so in the same fashion, we are going to solve the next problem, that is f of s is equal to s divided by s square minus omega square. So that particular equation can be written as s divided by s plus omega into s minus omega. Okay. So while observing this particular equation, we are going to get two different poles, that is s is equal to omega and s is equal to minus omega. So obtaining the residue value for this particular pole s is equal to omega, we can written R1 is equal to limit s tends to omega s minus omega into f of s into 1 divided by 1 minus e power minus st into z inverse. So just substitute the value of s is equal to omega in this equation, we are going to get 1 divided 2 into 1 divided by 1 minus e power omega t into z inverse. So converting the z inverse, we are going to get the value of R1 as 1 by 2 into z divided by z minus e power omega t. Okay, this is the residue value for the pole s is equal to omega. That means this one, s is equal to omega. So obtaining the residue value for the pole s is equal to minus omega, we are going to get in a similar fashion R2 can be obtained as 1 by 2 into z divided by z minus e power minus omega t. Okay, this is the very easy one. Application of the residue method, there is no need to apply the inverse Laplace transform and also inverse Z transform. Z transform. So adding of this particular R1 and R2, we can get the final Z transform for the function f of s, that is 1 by 2 into z divided by z minus e power omega t plus z divided by z minus e power minus omega t. Okay. This is the one side of the problem, and the next one. Next question is f of s is equal to 1 divided by s into s minus 1. Okay. In this equation also we are able to identify two particular poles, that is s is equal to 0 and s is equal to 1. Okay. R1 is nothing but the residual value which is obtained at a pole s is equal to 0. So therefore R1 can be obtained as limit s tends to 0 s into f of s into 1 divided by 1 minus e power st into z inverse. So just substituting the value of s is equal to 0 in this equation, we are going to get minus z divided by z minus 1, that is R1 value. In the similar fashion, R2, that is nothing but residue at pole 1, can be obtained as R2 is equal to limit s tends to 1 s minus 1 into f of s into 1 divided by e power minus e power st into z inverse. So just substituting the value of s is equal to 1 in this particular equation, we are going to get R2 value as z divided by z minus e power capital T. So just adding off this particular R1 and R2, we are going to get the z transformation for this function f of s as f of z is equal to R1 plus R2, that is summation of residues. Therefore, minus z divided by z minus 1 plus z divided by z minus e power capital T. So finally, we are going to get the z transform for the f of s as f of z is equal to z divided by z minus e power t minus z divided by z minus 1. Okay, this is the one set of the problems. Okay, and we will look for one more problem. So with that problem, we can close the residue method of z transformation. Okay, here she has asked us to find out to find out the z transform for the function f of t is equal to e power minus t into sine 4. So try to concentrate on this particular question. Here he has asked us to find out the z transform for the function f of t. F of t. It is represented in t functions, but we have to apply the z transformation for the function f of s using residue method. Using residue method, we have to obtain the residue method. That means the z transformation using the residue method only for the function f of s. So in order to convert f of t into f of s, we have to apply the Laplace transform for this one. We are going to get, that means the Laplace transform for the function e power minus 5t into sine 4t, that is f of s is equal to 4 divided by s plus 5 whole square plus 4 square. That is nothing but 4 divided by s square plus 10s plus 41. Okay, this is the equation which is obtained with the Laplace transform for this particular equation. That means continuous function t domain can be converted into s domain. So in order to obtain the z transformation for the function, we have to, that means the function must be presented in s domain itself, but the given question is in terms of f of t. So in order to convert the f of t into f of s, we have applied the Laplace transform. Okay, so in this equation, this is a quadratic equation. So just obtaining the root for this one, we have used the formula minus b plus or minus root of b square minus 4ac divided by 2a. We are going to get two different poles, that is imaginary roots, imaginary pole, that is minus 5 plus or minus 4a. That means R1 can be obtained for one of the value, that is minus 5 plus 4a, and R2 can be obtained for the pole minus 5 plus minus 4a. Okay, therefore the residue for the first pole, that is s is equal to minus 5 minus 4i is limit s tends to the pole s plus 5 minus 4i into f of s into 1 divided by e power st into z inverse. Just substituting the value of s is equal to minus 5 plus 4i, we are going to get this particular equation. After certain simplification and calculation, we are going to get the value of R1 as 1 by 2i into z divided by z minus e power minus 5 plus 4i into t, e power minus 4 plus 4i into t. Okay, In the similar fashion, we have obtained the values that is residue for the pole, that is S is equal to minus 5 plus 4a. Sorry, minus 4a. That is R2 can be obtained in the similar fashion as 1 divided by minus 2i into z divided by z minus 5 minus 4i into capital D. So just some adding of this particular residues R1 and R2, we are going to get the final value of f of z. That means z transformation of the function f of s, that is 1 by 2i into z divided by z minus e power minus 5i plus 4i into t minus z divided by z minus e power minus 5 minus 4i into. Okay. In this fashion, we are going to solve some of the problems using residue method. That means the Z transformation for this particular set of questions or equations, we can obtain the partial fraction method as well as the residue method. So, in order to apply the Z transform for this partial fraction method, we must be familiar about the inverse Laplace term also. Whereas coming for the residue method, there is no need to apply any inverse Laplace transform or Z transform. Just calculating the values of residues R1 and R2, just adding up these particular two values, we can get the value f of z. But we have to make sure about that the given equation must be presented in f of s only for obtaining the f of z value using residue method. Okay. With this, we are going to wind up the class for today. In the next class, we will see the problems regarding to the inverse Z transform. Okay. Thank you. Thank you everyone. Have a nice day.